It says live on Facebook.
It does?
Saying that.
Man, this is such a mess. We're sorry. If people are watching us right now, I'm very sorry. I don't know why this is so complicated. All right, it's live. All right, okay. Andrea, I see us in Facebook. We are live. We are live, live, live. So, welcome, Andrea. Kimyara, can you give us a thumbs up or something? I see you're able to watch it, so I'm really happy. Good to see you, Kimyara. So welcome to our second Color Bold Spotlight with the Color Bold Business Association of Northeast Wisconsin, highlighting business owners of color in this whole region. And today we have Andrea Toms with Styled by Marie-Andre. Welcome, Andrea. I just want to introduce you quickly here. Andrea is a graduate student at the University of Wisconsin-Oshkosh. She launched and transformed her personal styling business to her online boutique on June 5th after losing her job due to COVID-19. She focused on styling the everyday diva and bringing fashion forward in comfortable styles that work for all women. Each piece in her boutique is named after everyday women in the community, such as myself. Thank you, Andrea. She's excited to see her business continue to grow, and she's a mother to a 6-year-old boy named Kenyon. How are you doing today, Andrea?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing good. I'm sorry about the dragged out intro there with not getting everything together with the technology, but you know, I'm gonna learn someday. A little bit of a dinosaur here, I think. Anyway, do you want to add anything to that introduction? Anything else you want to say to the audience here as we get started?
No, that was perfect. So,
all right. So would you mind just telling us a little bit about how your business got started and why you got it started? What happened?
yeah, for sure. So, it originally started off as a styling business. So as you know, last year when Fit Oshkosh was still active, we created the co-working space. And so I really like most women, right? I really love to shop, and I started, working with a lot of different boutiques in the area, and like because they would ask me to model and do different things like that. So I have a really good friend who owns a boutique in Oshkosh as well. And so like one day she was like, "What are you doing?" She was like, "You're so good with fashion." She was like, "You should start like a blog." And I was like, "That's a good idea." Like I hadn't thought about that. And so again, I started partnering with different boutiques in town, showing different women, all women, like how to style, different items, and what items could work with their budget, and how you can still be fashion forward, but you don't have to spend an arm and a leg to do so. And so it became Styles by Marie-Andre, and there's nothing special behind that name. It's just my name in French, so I thought it sounded better than like, oh, Styles by Andrea. Like that just sounds kind of dry when you say it out loud. So it just became Styles by Marie-Andre. And so, like I said, I turned it into a styling business because I had women who began to reach out to me and say, "I would love if you could take me shopping. Like, I'm so lost with my wardrobe." Or, you hear the same stories. Like, I became a mom. I kind of like let myself go because, naturally as a mom, you put your kids first. And so it kind of just developed from there. And I had, some women like, if I charged, this per hour, would you be willing to pay that? And it just kind of gravitated from there. And so, naturally, since I was working at Fit Oshkosh, it was just kind of like a thing that I did on the side. But unfortunately, with the closure of Fit Oshkosh this past April, I was like, you know what? I was like, I am going to take this opportunity to, really launch my business in full effect, because that was originally my 5-year goal, is that, I wanted to just build up my styling. I just wanted to build up my styling clientele. So by the time I did open up a brick and mortar, so like all these women have been shopping with me for years. So, it would be like natural for them to want to come to my brick and mortar. And so, I reached out, to my dad, and I said, "Hey, do you know anybody who would be interested in investing in, my online boutique as a startup?" Because like, with all the different grants and everything that were out for businesses, it wasn't tailored towards new businesses. It was just tailored towards businesses that were currently in place. And I didn't want to take out any business loans. I wanted to kind of like self-fund. And so my dad said, hey, give me, a few days, I'll get back to you. And then literally 2 or 3 days later, I, had this large deposit in my account. And I called my dad and I was like, what's going on? And he rallied with the other family members and said like, hey, let's get behind Andrea. She's really passionate, about her fashion. Like, let's see this to fruition. So it was because of my family and their, unequivocal support and love to see like my dream become a reality. I was able to launch June 5th. And so it's been really exciting ever since. So
that's really exciting. And to do that in the middle of a pandemic is also pretty extraordinary. So what made you like take that bold like leap during a time when there's a lot of, economic distress happening in our community?
Yeah, so I was having, with me, being an English graduate student, I don't really have the flexibility and autonomy to really work that kind of traditional setting. That was really one of the fun perks about working at Fit Oshkosh, is that I could build my school schedule around my work schedule. And plus I was limited at home because, since my son is now of child age, like, he couldn't go to daycare. Like, I had to stay home with them. And so it was just a growing frustration. I said, you know what? I was like, forget this. I am just going to use this time that I have at home and launch this business. And so, yes, it was a very risky move doing it in the midst of a pandemic, but, I got the inspiration from a couple people. So there is this entrepreneur in Virginia. Her name is Sharice Jones, and she has this accessories boutique. And in May, they had their biggest world breaking month because more people were at home and more people were shopping. And so that served as a motivation as well. And then I had a really good friend out in Milwaukee, Miss Clara Fleming, which most of us know and cherish and love. And so she made a really good point too. And I was talking to her and she said, you know what? She said, we're all in some shape or form, whether it's, this is a lot like economically, socially, physically, like we're all suffering in a sense because this pandemic has forced us to have to shift and really change our normal. She said, so why not struggle and, be happy and pursue your dream? And that right there just clicked it for me. So I made the bold move to launch my business and I've been leaps and bounds happier ever since. So
that's amazing. So you're pretty much talking about the support from your family. That's been really important. It sounds like not just monetarily, but also from more of a support standpoint and mentorship standpoint almost. And I do know, Andrea, that you come from a family of entrepreneurs. Did that help you too to kind of get to be bold and just we're doing this?
Yeah, I think it's just always, been in our blood. We just really don't thrive well working for other people. It's definitely just been a family trait. We all just do better, doing our own thing. And again, it has made us all be better, all to be happier, and just to essentially kind of leave a legacy in a stance for our family. So it's been really amazing. I mean, even as a child, it's so funny, my parents had me get CPR certified by the American Red Cross. And so again, one day my mom was like, you should start a babysitting business. She's like, you're CPR certified. And so even as a young age, I remember just engaging all these different, entrepreneurial avenues. So it's just always been a family trait, I think.
Right. It's not something foreign to you to just kind of leap out and do something like that. And then in terms of starting up a business, is there anything you can think of that you would share with other people that may have the same thoughts, ideas about, kind of itching to do something and start something? Anything that you learned the first few? I mean, I know you're still young in terms of business, with June being your launch month, but still, is there any lessons learned that you've encountered so far?
Yes, I would definitely say making sure that whatever you decide to do from a business standpoint is to make sure that you love it. And I think that's in part why I've seen, especially for a startup, some relatively good short-term success because, I I love what I do. I love to style women. I love to, incorporate fashion and to let women know that it doesn't matter your age or your size or the area you live in, or if you're at home or you go out every single day, or if you're a mom, or, if you're an entrepreneur yourself, or you are the traditional 9 to 5, like fashion works in so many angles and aspects. So I love waking up every day and knowing that, my pieces speak to that. And like, I really work to ensure that, like I said, all of my pieces, like I said, are personalized. So like, again, that's one of my big niches in my business that, like you said, is like women like you, right? It's named after everyday women with so many different diverse backgrounds, because like, I try to make the experience that people have with me, it's like, it's more than a shopping experience. It's a personal experience. I want you to feel good and love your purchase and, make it, increase your confidence, as you're shopping. I don't want, a piece that you get from my collection to be something you get, at any other boutique or any other name brand. So I want it to be something that you love and that you want to keep forever. And I think that's very important in any aspect of business that you do, that you have to really love what you're doing, because like, I think a lot of people, especially from a customer standpoint, can tell like when the passion for your business is there versus when it's artificial.
And then besides having that passion and loving what you're actually doing, are there like people or any kind of support that you lean on to make the other wheels turn, in terms, because being a business owner, you need to have oversight over finances, marketing, you name it. I know you're a solopreneur at this stage, but like, who have you been leaning on throughout this, or like, what do you rely on for support to make sure that everything is kind of moving smoothly?
So I would say, definitely like my mom is a big one, because again, like she has had her like hat in almost every different like entrepreneurial like arena you can think of. Right? And I would definitely say my good friend Pamela Cleves from Olive and Rose. She's the one who inspired me to even like take that leap of faith too. So definitely when I'm just like how do you do this? What should I do? She's always a phone call or a text away. So I would always definitely encourage people to find um mentors, like you said, whether it's financially or for like whatever you're doing, especially if it's something that you're not confident in, because like I said, we all have our strengths and weaknesses, and I think that's important for entrepreneurs to recognize. Like, focus on your strengths, and the things that you're not necessarily so strong at, it's okay to outsource that, because in the long run it's going to benefit and make your business a lot better and stronger. So
Absolutely. Angie, I've been really curious about how you go about picking out the outfits and the accessories that you have at your online boutique, in your online boutique. So what's the thought process like when you do that? Because they're very unique pieces.
thank you. Yeah, it's a very like, it takes me a while to, which is why like I slowly add pieces to the collection as I go, because again, I don't want it to become an artificial thing. I want it to be a well thought out, genuine process. A good chunk of it though is a lot of like Facebook creeping. So like all the women in the boutique that I've named pieces after, I've done a little like creeping on their social medias again to check out like their body styles and their personalities.
That's
It's like,
awesome.
yeah, it's a little creeping. Because like I want to, naturally the piece that is named after you, I want it to be comfortable on you and look amazing on you as well. But also too, like I try to create a nice balance of, I can see myself in this, but it is an elevation in the fashion area where I typically like wouldn't necessarily gravitate towards that piece, but it still works for me. And so that's the nice balance that I try to find. Like, I try to incorporate a little bit of whoever the diva is that I'm naming that piece afterwards, but again, like something that they would never think of or consider to wear, because again, like that's the goal overall. It's like, I don't want I want my pieces to stand out, because the divas that they named after, they stand out. So
yeah. I was wearing my the sweater that you named after me the other week, and I gotta say, I did feel like very confident when I was working that day, and I felt kind of sassy and professional all at the same time. So I think that's kind of what you want to achieve, right?
yes.
So you reach, that's great. And then I was curious to hear, where do you see yourself, Angie, and your business in 5 years?
So I really want a brick and mortar. That's definitely still the goal. I'm so excited about having to like to wake up and say, I'm going to go to my store today and open. And so I definitely, want that because I want to create, again, the atmosphere where women feel welcome and comfortable and like a space where women can bring their kids, because I think that's a problem in the fashion industry as well, is that like a lot of stores and boutiques don't tailor to the fact that like there's some moms like who have to take their kids with them. And so I envision my boutique, like I said, being a welcoming space for both women and children. So like children can have a designated player and they can play while moms can shop, and create an overall just catering experience. So I want to give off the spa vibes but with fashion. So
I love it. And it reminds me a little bit about the co-working space that was started, like you were mentioning, in Fit Oshkosh last year. We both were there quite a bit. Extension that I work for, supported the space just with, having the space open, and then you were there quite a bit just to be there and welcoming people, Andrea. And I remember the one thing that we really were pushing was keeping it child friendly, because a lot of co-working spaces out there are quite a few, but to have places kid friendly and family friendly for professionals, moms and dads and caregivers, that can be a tricky kind of thing to navigate. So I'm really glad to hear that you really have an intention behind your business.
mm-hmm.
So what are you wearing today?
So I am wearing the Catherine St. Clair, and she goes by Katie, but she is a graduate student as well at the University of Wisconsin. And she's just this cool, like just dynamic chick, like so, so laid back, so cool, and she just makes you smile. She just warms your heart, right? And so she's very into, her style is very kind of like punk edgy. But like she's adorable, so I just love her. But so this is totally like her style, because like I said, she's very bold and she's sweet and she like really cares and is passionate about people. So when I saw this hoodie, just naturally I was like, I have to name this one after her. So it's Halloween, but this is the hoodie, and it has the fun pockets, and it has a double hoodie, and then like a fun like zipper on the design. So that's really fun. And then for
cool.
See if you can see them, but these are the Linda Harvot pants, and I named, and they're very high-waisted. They have like the metallic feel to them, and I really like them because they're very warm. They do a good job of capturing body heat, so I have them on today naturally because it's like freezing.
It's pretty chill, yeah.
Yeah, I'm like convinced I'm like low-key anemic or something because cannot with winter. But I named these after her because Linda's the very good like example of a woman who she's stay-at-home mom. She built her Arbonne business from the ground up because she wanted to be the mom that didn't miss out on her kids growing up, and just like missing out on life that so many parents unfortunately because of work have to do sometimes. And so for me it's a nice combination of I'm the stay-at-home mom, but I'm also this professional, again, like awesome dynamic businesswoman. And so again, it was just to kind of name these pants off of her because again, she's so passionate about her business and wanting to help people, through healthy eating and healthy living and healthy and natural, vegan products. So again, it was just a no-brainer to name this after her. So
that's really cool. I'm looking here, Andrea, to see if we have any questions from the audience. I can't see any. Do you, I mean, I know, are you sharing on your page too, Andrea? I know they can be different, the comment boxes and stuff like that. Please shout out if you have any questions, folks. Just put it in the chat box. I know that I may not be able to see everybody's chat boxes if you're sharing on your own page and that kind of thing, but we would be happy to have Andrea answer your questions. I don't know. I don't see anything. Do you have anything else to share, Andrea, that you can think of right now?
I would just say, like, if there is someone out there watching this and who's hesitant about starting their business, to just honestly do it and go for it. It's not something that you obviously won't see success overnight. It's, for sure trial and error. I've, done a lot of things right, and I've certainly done a lot of things wrong as well. So, but that's how you grow and, tailor your business. And, don't let the idea of like, oh, I don't have enough time or necessarily like, the startup funds to do certain things. Cause like, if you want it and you're passionate for it, there are a lot of resources out there. For you to start your business if you want to. And again, especially with so many more people being at home now, if you have the time to dedicate to a business, that helps with, getting your feet moving and, building that long-term success. So
that's awesome. I just heard from Kimyada that we do have questions. I just am not able to see them in my chat box here. So Kimyada, I think, is hopefully gonna, oh, she's taking a picture. Send them in the pictures. May I see that? Oh, Parney wants to see your pants again.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Linda's pants.
So you don't have to wear them high-waisted. They do come high-waisted. I just love high-waisted everything. But it has the zippers. Well, it's a fake pocket in the front, but they have like the zippers, and they go up to a size extra large. But they're my favorite, and they cup. Don't see it, but they cup at the bottom as well, so they fit it around the ankle. So
awesome. Andrea, we got a couple questions here. Kimyada is wondering, what kind of clothes do you have in your boutique? If you would just kind of put them in a nutshell kind of thing.
So each one is so different, honestly, because I don't necessarily follow the traditional, model of like what you see of other boutiques, like, oh, it's fall, so like, let me do a bunch of scarves, or, oh, it's, Christmas, let me do all these Christmas themed things. Like I said, it's very, individual, like, I guess is the best, but there's so many different pieces. There's not a cohesiveness or collectiveness to it, but again, like, that's what I strive for, because all women are different. But I do have, there are some pants, there are jackets, there are sweaters, there are dresses, there are boots. So I have like a denim boot, I have kind of like a rustic boot. I definitely have purses, but again, they're not traditional purses that you see on an everyday basis. So as a quick example, so this right here, for example, is the Charlotte B. And again, one of the reasons why that I named the purse after Charlotte is because it's a funny story. So Charlotte, she is diva who lives in Door County, and she's really good friends with my mom. And so she was telling her how, like, oh my goodness, like she had lost her wallet like ages ago, and she like just kept like losing everything because she did not have a purse to keep things in. And so naturally, when I got in like my purses for fall, I was like, I have to name these purses after Charlotte, just because her story and like her personality behind it just really to me spoke to me and gave like the name of the bag. So we have like this one, and again, like the Halloween themed hoodie too, just because again it fits Katie's style. It's not necessarily because it was of Halloween, it was because like it was Katie's personality, because she's so much fun and like she gets so like she loves the holiday well. So it's something more so tailored to the fact that it just fit her personality. Really cool. Let's see, another fun piece.
We have a few more questions too, Andrea. Oh, I'm sorry, were you gonna say more?
Yeah, to show a different one. So this one's this is a bodysuit, and this one's named after a girl named Destiny that I've had the honor to meet. She recently just moved here from California, and so she's a senior right now in high school. But again, what I really loved about her is that she was very sweet, and again, very open-hearted and minded, and one of the hardest workers I've ever had the pleasure of meeting. So like I said, every piece is, it's very different. So it's not necessarily a collective story I'm trying to tell or sell, for that matter. It's the individual piece that is symbolic to that diva. So
that's awesome. We have a question from Tanisha Alvarado asking, do you make and design the clothes on your own?
No.
Do you wish?
I am not that talented. No, but I just go out and like wholesale through different vendors and everything, which again makes the product process a little bit more difficult to find clothes because I have to like scour through. But no, I've thought about that and given it certain consideration, but I was like, hey, no.
Maybe in the future.
Yes, possibly in the long,
Yeah.
So.
Kimyada is wondering if you started the blog your friend mentioned, and if so, do you still do the blog?
So I kind of try to combine them both. So originally, like I said, the blog was more so just of, this is how you can style things that are already in your closet. Or again, like if you're looking to shop on a budget, you can go to these local boutiques. So originally it started off really to support, like I said, women, but also to support the local boutique. So again, another niche that I had when I had the blog is that I only, would support or emphasize or encourage people to shop locally. I think that's so important, especially in this day and age, especially during this pandemic when so many local businesses were forced to shut down while big brand stores were allowed to remain open because they were deemed essential. So I try to combine that still. So again, like when you are on my page and you see like, oh, my of the day, I'm trying again encourage and show women that because you're at home, like doesn't mean you have to again resort back to just sweatpants and a t-shirt, right? Like you can still be fashionable and comfortable, at home with your kids or home running errands. So a lot of that is still incorporated into my boutique as well, especially like I do local delivery as well. So if there's online that a woman sees, it's just necessarily not sure about the size, I will hand deliver it to you, and you can always check it out and see before you buy. So again, really trying to personalize that experience. So again, a lot of the elements that you see that work from my blog, my blog is still implemented throughout the boutique as well.
Awesome. Thanks, Andrea, for being with us here. And
thank you. Thank you for all the questions.
Yes, and please spread the word for future Color Bold spotlights. We're doing this monthly at this point, where we just highlight people from the Color Bold Business Association. And it's not a membership organization. Anybody can just go in and like the page. We do have a committee right now that's set up to kind of make decisions for the business association and how it moves forward. Extension is there to support the organization, however, whichever direction it wishes to go. We have events. So these events are monthly around, the third week, usually Tuesdays on the third week of that month. And next week we have an event on Monday called Risky Business. So talking about how to manage and mitigate risk during a pandemic. So please sign up for that. That's also under the events on our Color Bold Business Association Facebook page. Thanks again, Andrea. And also, if you want to be featured, if you know a friend that wants to be featured, who is a business owner of color in this region, just please let me know right on Facebook here, or just send me a direct message, and would love to feature you in a future one. So thanks again, Andrea. It was so great to talk to you, and thanks everyone that tuned in. Thank you, Parni and Kimyada, for letting me know of all the questions I couldn't see. So have a great rest of your day, everybody.
Bye.
Thanks, Andrea.